Sadie Sink has officially been cast in the upcoming Spider-Man 4.
Feels like every time we get Spider-Man 4 news, it's like so out of nowhere on a random time on a random day. And then it's like
avalanche
yeah,
of just stuff. And I'm interested how this entire era is going to go, considering Tom Holland's obviously filming the Odyssey right now.
I mean, we're in phase 6 now, right?
Are we?
I believe we're in phase 6. I believe we are. I might be wrong. I believe we are though.
I think so.
With the Thunderbolts, starting with the Thunderbolts. And
no, phase 6 starts with Fantastic Four, I think. Or phase 7. Whichever is the next phase, it starts with
it starts with Thunderbolts. No, it starts with Thunderbolts. I'm pretty sure it starts with Thunderbolts.
Did they change that?
I think they might have. I'm pretty sure it starts with, from the last time I saw, I'm pretty sure it was Thunderbolts. I could be wrong. But really wonder what, I mean, it clearly seems like they have a plan that they want to execute for this phase, which I can appreciate. Because before this phase, there was no plan. It kind of felt like, if you're being honest, in a weird way, kind of felt like the beginning of the MCU. Like random one-off
Except you
movies.
didn't get to see Tony Stark in 2 movies back to back. We got to see Shang-Chi
or Nick Fury
never see him again.
Movies. Yeah. I mean, like, it makes me wonder what their real plans are here. And I could just appreciate the fact that they have a plan for this phase. It seems like, I mean, you have to. And again, it's kind of like the Infinity Saga. They didn't really have a clear, concise plan for the Infinity Saga until they went, let's do the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
Then I feel like once they formulated that, I felt like all the movies and stuff that came before the Infinity Saga, they planned into it. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here. The way Civil War was planned into the Infinity Saga, the way Guardians
showed up in each other's projects.
No, that's what made it so connected. That's neither here nor there.
Thor, or when you see Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok, or Ant-Man, or Falcon and Ant-Man.
Who says that can't be the case with this phase? I mean, you see Bucky in Captain America. He's probably he's gonna be
after Endgame. Other than what?
In Thunderbolts?
Marvel, in the Marvels, I think she's the only person to jump from show to movie. We're not counting Kate Bishop because she's just an extension of Miss Marvel's appearance. Like,
nope, Falcon as well. What do you mean?
No. But he debuted before the show.
Oh, got you.
I'm talking about started from the show going into movies. Like Miss Marvel's like
that's kind of tough. I feel like that's kind of where Marvel put themselves in a sticky position because if you want to include one of those shows, and it's not even the fact that there's an issue with including them. It's just you get yourself in a little bit of a predicament when you want to like introduce a character in a show that nobody's going to watch, and then try thinking about putting that character in another movie that nobody's gonna know
where this character came from.
Again, you can put Echo in the Marvels, great. You get your Tony Stark in multiple movies moment, but how many people know who Echo is, right? So it's like it's kind of this weird thing, but again, I can appreciate that, like, Thunderbolts is if it really just feels like a lot of this setup into Spider-Man 4 and into Doomsday and Secret Wars and stuff, it feels more connected than honestly anything since Endgame. Like, personally, like, it feels like the MCU again. At one point, it just didn't. It felt like at one point it just felt like Disney Plus.
I don't know how much the Thunderbolts will be part of that because it just doesn't look like the type of movie that
I think Bucky and Yelena will have something to do as far as the future goes for Secret Wars and Doomsday, but I don't know about everybody else. I think Bucky and Yelena, though, I feel like they're gonna treat Yelena as our next Black Widow a little bit.
We're going on tangents. I'm just like, I'm curious what the whole deal is now with this Spider-Man, right? Obviously now it's very different, right? Spider-Man used to have a movie every 2 years, and obviously they fulfilled that
took a little break
for three straight movies. But then there's a bigger break, and in the midst of that, just last year, Sony announced this universe is done. This Sony Venom Craven universe is done. And so that makes me wonder what is going on with Tom Holland's Spider-Man? Or is Sony all
Right.
in on like Marvel? We can't make money without Venom, so just do what you want to do. Or like, will this still be a case where Sony's still in the ear of the director, the producers, and going, it needs a Marvel character, and maybe that's where this comes into play, because we're going to talk about who she might play, and that's where I'm kind of on the fence of is yes, I wanted a really grounded, back to basics Spider-Man, but since I know I can't get that, I'm curious, what exactly are we playing with here? Are we just bringing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back to fight some multiversal villains? Or like, are we legit?
The details we don't really know about yet, but obviously,
which is crazy.
They dip in both hands. They're slowly trying to take one out of the tar that it's stuck in, because they're losing so much money on these stupid movies that they're kind of like,
I don't think they've lost any money because of Venom.
You don't think they've lost any money?
I don't think they've lost any money because of Venom.
I don't think Venom is enough to.
The first Venom made over 800 million. The second Venom made over 500 in the pandemic, and the third one.
But again, I feel like budgets were inflating after the first Venom because it did so well. I feel like budgets were inflating for the rest of their projects. Like Madam Web, let's be honest, Madam Web is just a total loss. Like, it's just like,
yeah, but it was
from
only
the start of production,
100 million, like, which isn't much compared to Venom's sum.
Obviously, but like Craven, for example, I don't know.
Craven was less. I'm pretty sure Craven was less than Madam Web. I'm pretty sure.
But I mean, I feel like
they know they just can't do nothing though without Venom.
You know what it probably is? The money that they've made off of their stupid movies like Craven and Madam Web and stuff. They probably feel like, dude, we can make more money just sharing with Disney all the time. Like,
that's what they've always done.
Yeah, that's what they've always done. But I feel like with Spider-Man 4, I feel like they're gonna kick it into like a different gear in terms of,
that's what I'm wondering,
contract negotiations and stuff. I feel like Spider-Man's gonna get into a different like area.
I want to get into that real quick. There's obviously been this legal, I don't know what you want to call it, but
IP battle, I guess.
It's been a rule clearly made by Sony that if they have a character they introduce in their universe, the MCU cannot use said character, right?
Yeah.
You introduce Morbius, now Tom Holland Spider-Man can't fight Morbius. You introduce Venom, Tom Holland Spider-Man can't fight Venom.
Specific to that universe, or just Sony stuff like Miles Morales and that stuff?
I'm guessing that universe specifically.
Okay, I can see that.
But yeah, and it kind of pains me because now like we can't see Tom Holland Spider-Man fight a Craven, or like will he be able to at all have like a like fight Venom, or does it have to be theirs? Does it have to be Tom Hardy's? I'm curious to see how much those contracts have changed, and I'm very nervous for 𝙑𝙗𝙬. He's such a talented director, and with John Watts, he was like new. Like John Watts was someone fresh.
Yeah.
He had made Clown and Cop Car. That's not counting like his little claymation short. And like those are really nothing. But
he was probably just happy to get the chance to do a Marvel
That's what I'm
movie.
saying. Regardless,
I feel like 𝙑𝙗𝙬 is like,
he's coming in with some
pedigree on the line kind of thing. Like
Short-Term 12, now Shang-Chi. And I'm curious, how much freedom they're gonna give him. Also, what does this mean for Shang-Chi? Like, I'm sorry, bro. It's like they just don't care about him. Everyone loves him.
It is weird because plenty of people like Shang-Chi. I think that's he's not too young to where it's like he's a young Avenger, but he's enough to where he could play the role for like a couple years now. Like, I really am confused as to why they just haven't touched that character at all. Like, it feels like at least every other character they have in mind alluding to or touching. It feels like Shang-Chi is like nothing. I think they said the 10 rings like one time since Shang-Chi. That's it.
I can't think of, that's actually so right, because even though Eternals hasn't been like referenced, you still had like Tiamat and the events from that movie affecting future ones. That is odd. But who do we think she's playing? Who do we think Sadie Sink is playing?
I mean, let's get one thing out of the way first. The fact that Sadie Sink is in this movie just came as a humongous surprise. One, because it's like the first casting.
Yeah,
It's like the first
official.
besides Tom Holland, which we assume he should be in the Spider-Man movie. This is the first casting announcement, and
well, I think we know Zendaya's in. I think we know like there's like
obviously, yeah, maybe Ned, but Sadie Singh being in is just it's kind of wild because not only is she like a bona fide talent, like she's just a talented actress, really is. It makes you wonder what her role is going to be because you don't just sit a Sadie Sink on the sidelines. You don't really just do that, or you don't make her like a minor character that
I don't know how well known she is though. Like outside of
I don't think it's about being well known. I think it's a combination of her talent and being a little
Oh no, she's very talented.
It's a combination of the two for me. Like it's hard to think of many people in the MCU, especially like around her age, that are at her level, not only in terms of talent, but in terms of popularity, you know, Haley Steinfeld and whatnot, but like you can't name a lot. And it makes me wonder what her role is going to be. And then you couple that in with the fact we just got rumors that she was going to be Jean Grey like
that was like
3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago.
No, it was in December. It was in December, I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
Pretty sure. Yeah. It was in December.
The fact that we get that news and we get casting news for Cyclops and Beast and Kitty Pryde and whatnot.
It's not real casting.
They're not real castings, but they're
like reports of the chatters, the conversations going on,
and they're conversations I can believe, right? Because when you tell me Jesse Plemons as Beast, that's Vision. That doesn't sound like somebody making up a casting. Yeah, like if you search up a Beast fan cast, I bet you he's nowhere near anybody's fan cast. But it fits. Yeah. It's perfect, and I feel like there's a vision there. So when it comes to Jean Grey,
no fan caster probably even knows who Jesse Plemons is. That's why.
Okay, that's hilarious. But when it comes to Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, do I think she's playing Jean Grey? Yes, I think she's going to play Jean Grey. But my thing is, do I think she's going to play Jean Grey in this movie? And that's where we get to the nitty gritty of things. When it comes to Spider-Man 4, a lot of people are thinking Mary Jane. A lot of people are thinking Gwen. Some people are thinking Jean because of the recent rumors of her being an X-Men. And that could happen with the whole multiverse and, you know, the way the movie's being planned out around the multiverse. It could happen. But even here, 3C wants to do Mayday. I mean, bro, like, there's some stuff here personally I think is gonna be is between Gwen and Jean. The Mary Jane stands out there. I don't think they're getting Mary Jane until you know Zendaya wants to realize who Peter Parker is again. It just came super out of left field, but a huge talent that I can't wait to see. I don't really like. I'm not looking forward to her playing anybody specific because she's just a talent. Like I don't need her to play anybody specific, but I am intrigued. I am super intrigued as to like who she's playing, what her role is going to be, and if she's going to have a role as said character or something moving forward. I just really wonder what the implications are here because, again, don't want it to be just Sadie Sink sitting on the sidelines. Like I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't watch a Spider-Man movie with Sadie Sink on the sidelines. You know, not be a main side character, or main character, or anything, but just not on the sidelines. And I really do wonder who she's playing again. I think it's Gwen or Jean. Starting to lean towards Gwen a little bit because she give me that vibe. But yeah, I mean, really interesting stuff. Super out of nowhere. I expect more casting news to drop soon because I mean, if you got Sadie Sink, you got to have some other people in here. This thing's gonna start going into production in like what, a couple months here?
Maybe. When does the Odyssey? Do we know when that's like finishing?
I assume that'll stop finishing near the summer, closer to the summer. Yeah. Not near this, but like leading into the summer.
Here's the thing, right? The Deadline article reads she will be playing a significant role, and even the Deadline article acknowledges the Jean Grey rumor, which is, you know, that's
weird. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never. Well,
I don't see. I don't see real trades talk about rumors in there.
Yeah, and be like, I never see rumor. That. Like, and I don't know. You know, I'm very excited for the
thing Marvel dropped today on Twitter.
That was odd timing for sure. They dropped like an animated
minutes in it. What are we?
Yeah, of the death of Gwen Stacy, and yeah, I'm curious. Like, what all this is, because I am very excited for the potential of the mutants in the MCU. I cannot wait
Super
for the
excited.
X-Men to be
I mean,
introduced.
Kamala is
And well,
technically a mutant,
she's
right?
a mutant. Namor's obviously like a mutant as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't really, and obviously they could change my mind on this. And if this were to be the case, I would hope that they change my mind on it. But I just don't care to see like X-Men characters in a Spider-Man movie. I really don't
I
care
get
for
that. I
that
care to see
at
X-Men characters. I see
all.
what you're saying.
Yeah,
In a
like in a
Spider-Man
Spider-Man
movie, it
movie, it's
doesn't
like, what are we
matter too
doing
much.
here? These are characters with like mutant abilities dealing with like racial commentary. It's like, what is Spider-Man doing here? And it's like, if I had to choose, I'm throwing Spider-Man in there with the Fantastic Four instead. But it's just interesting because if she is Jean Grey, like the rumor suggested, how exactly does she play a significant role? And sure, if this does end up being taking place after Doomsday, or was it before? It's after
Oh
Doomsday.
no, it's supposed to be, yeah, it's supposed to be between Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yeah, which means, if the rumor is Doomsday is supposed to set up Battle World, and
Yeah,
all the movies between Doomsday and Secret Wars will take place on Battle World. And
yeah.
so I'm like, so is this going to be a situation where the characters already are there? Like,
There.
there's not some
Okay. I
shenanigan
didn't even
that
think about
happens in
that.
the movie,
I
and
I didn't
instead,
even think
like,
about that.
we're right into, like, Spider City or something. And, like, yeah, I'm curious. People were saying she could be Firestar. That's an
I
odd
do not.
pull
I'm gonna be honest.
because
That
it's so
is.
deep cut.
It's
But I
so deep cut.
also
It's
could
so
see
deep cut.
them doing that as their not
Cameo.
introduction to mutants, but being like, we want to start integrating mutants, but we can't use a force like Jean Grey, a character with a name like Jean Grey, on the level of Jean Grey. So let's just throw
I feel
Firestar in
like
there.
that would be
She's
kind
been a
of
part
weird
of
though.
she's been a part of Spider-Man media before. Granted, it was the 1960s cartoon where they also had like Iceman in there, but
It was
like
like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like I do think that's an interesting theory. And then I don't believe in the Mary Jane stuff. I don't think they're touching a Mary Jane Watson alternate universe. That's
Yeah.
way too
I think if they're
convoluted.
gonna touch a love interest, it's going to be Gwen. Like it's not gonna be Mary. I can't
I'm
see
curious
that
about
happening.
that. I really am interested
If she's a love
because
interest, I'm saying if.
yeah, I don't understand really bringing Gwen into the fold right now. I don't get it at all. I'm gonna be honest. He's kind of been through his fair share of people dying in his life, and usually I like my Gwen. I like my Gwen and Peter meeting in the high school,
But again,
and
I mean, like playing with the multiverse and stuff, and like thinking that this will be on Battle World. By the way, if this movie is on Battle World, that is going to be crazy. If this movie is on Battle World, and I wonder what movies they plan on releasing in between that'll also be on Battle World.
I wonder what sets will actually be real.
Probably none of them. But I mean, here's my thing. When it comes to Gwen, she doesn't have to be a lover. She doesn't have to be a love interest, right? She could simply be, something pulled out of the multiverse for some
We're
odd reason.
not doing Spider Gwen.
Okay.
Not with the Spider Gwen.
Okay. Gwenpool.
Not
No.
with the Gwenpool.
But when it comes to that, again, they could just pull her out of the multiverse for some, haphazard reason. But when it comes to the fire, what's her name?
Firestar.
Star. Okay. Firestar. When it comes to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it's a super deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason I don't think it's going to happen at all.
Yeah, I know.
Like, not only is it a deep cut for, fans of Spider-Man and, people who watch Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And honestly, I do remember Firestar being like always there in that show. Like, I always remember her being on the
she's reappeared in
the
a plethora
marketing,
of comics. She's almost like a mainstay of the X-Men now.
And the thing about that is, I feel like you run yourself into another situation where some of the general audience can get confused because you have a character like Firestar who has red hair and a yellow outfit and is played by Sadie Sink. And let's say they actually do have plans to have Sadie Sink play Jean
Jean
Grey. And
Grey's
when that
outfit
time
is green,
comes,
sir.
no, I'm not saying okay, it's green, but I'm saying the red and the yellow, X-Men yellow, blue, Jean Grey red here. It could confuse a lot of people. I just don't see them going that route.
They have
Plus,
extremely
if they
different
wanted to
like
do that, they would
abilities,
just put.
though.
I just feel like they would put Jean Grey in. If they
No,
wanted to
because they
put a
have
mutant
very
in or
different
something, like
abilities. You
yeah,
gotta
yeah. But I'm
understand
saying
that
if they
Jean
wanted
Grey
to put a mutant in, like,
but she's just too powerful. Like Jean
what
Grey
if we're dealing with
is
some powerful shit?
That's the thing is, and that's the reason why I don't believe any of the rumors of it or theories of it being MJ, Gwen, any normal human character. I don't believe it because this will most likely take place on Battle World. And if Doctor Doom
Right.
is creating Battle World, he's not throwing civilians on. He's
Well-
throwing all the heroes
Well,
and all the
you
villains.
saw, well, technically, we did see the concept art of what looked like Secret Wars or
Mhm.
Battle World with a bunch of Hulks. I don't know if those
Mhm.
are Hulk civilians or if there's just so many Hulks in that vicinity that they're just acting like civilians at that point. Like they're
Yeah,
just
I
all.
mean,
I mean, I don't know personally, but yeah, I do agree with you. I can't
I
see
would've-
Doctor Doom just throwing in.
I mean, if I'm
Sadie
Sony,
Sink from Stranger Things, yo, let's get her in Battle World.
I'm leaning straight into like Spider City if I'm Sony. Like, if your excuse really is you want to bring Toby and Andrew back because it made $2 billion at first, set it on Battle World, Spider
Go full
City.
on Spider-Verse. Go
Like,
full on Spider-Verse.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Just give me Toby Maguire, Andrew Garfield, make Leonardo DiCaprio show up as an old Spidey, like James Cameron's fucking Spider-Man for a split
don't make
second.
it seem like a cameo fest, though. That's my thing, and I think that's why
Yeah.
No Way Home works so well because they didn't just make it a cameo fest, and they really
They
made sure
use
to
those
like
characters to tell our Peter's story, like
right
really
and
well.
still do stuff for them in their
Yeah,
own
still had the
perspective.
references, still had the callbacks, still had the kind of catching up with those characters. But yeah, I'm curious to see who she plays and how significant this role is. You know, them saying it's a significant role, I'm wondering if this is like a supporting role or like co-lead situation. Like
I think it'll be more supporting.
more supporting. I think so too. They better.
I think
let
when
my
they
boy do it.
say it's significant, I think they're like they didn't expect her to have this big of a role, like a supporting role.
That could be true.
And they're
too.
just kind of saying bro, it's pretty significant because they probably went in not even type thing. But
yeah, you guys
who-
tell us in the comments below
who
though.
knows, man?
Who do you think Sadie Sink is playing? Are you excited? How excited are you for Spider-Man 4? What do you think it'll be? Anything related to this? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments down below.